NBC announced that Caitlin Clark will join their coverage for Sunday Night Basketball beginning this weekend for the Lakers versus the Knicks at Madison Square Garden. This is the WNBA superstar's debut as an NBA analyst, and NBC has absolutely been killing it. First, they had MJ, which, by the way, that deal was insane. He got paid $40 million, and I literally think he sat down for
Aliyah Boston just reacted to Caitlin Clark landing that massive NBC analyst deal, and her response is getting attention for all the right reasons. While plenty of WNBA players stayed quiet or leaned into subtle passive-aggressive energy, Aliyah showed what real teammate support actually looks like. Her reaction wasn't long. It wasn't performative, but it spoke volumes. 2 words, 1 emoji, and suddenly, it said more about the Indiana Fever's culture than any press conference ever could. Aliyah Boston saw the news that Caitlin Clark is officially joining NBC Sports as a special contributor for Basketball Night in America, and her reaction was instant and enthusiastic. She posted simply, period. That's it. No caveats. No backhanded praise. Just pure support. And when you place that next to how other players around the league have responded to Caitlin's rise, those 2 words carry real weight. They signal excitement, confidence, and zero jealousy. In a league where veterans have spent the last 2 years trying to downplay or dismiss Caitlin's success, Aliyah's response feels refreshingly authentic. So does this prove the Fever have the healthiest star partnership in the WNBA? Or are people underestimating just how intentional that culture really is? Drop your take in the comments. And if you're loving this kind of breakdown, make sure you like and subscribe so you don't miss what's coming next.
Your thoughts on your teammate joining you as a colleague at NBC?
Oh, I know. I'm super excited. I think that's awesome. I think Caitlin's going to do a great job. She's awesome at everything she does. And so this.
Now let's put all of this into context, because Caitlin didn't just land any media job. She landed the most prestigious broadcasting role in women's basketball history. She's joining NBC's NBA coverage alongside Hall of Famers Carmelo Anthony, Tracy McGrady, and Vince Carter, with Maria Taylor hosting. Her debut is set for February 1st at Madison Square Garden for Lakers vs. Knicks, followed by another appearance on March 29th for Thunder vs. Knicks. This is NBC's flagship basketball program, and they chose Caitlin to be part of it. That's massive for any athlete, let alone someone still actively playing. And the timing makes Aliyah Boston's support even more meaningful. The 2025 season was brutal for Indiana. Caitlin played just 13 games due to multiple injuries, with a right groin injury ending her season early. Sophie Cunningham and 3 other players also suffered season-ending injuries. That meant Aliyah had to shoulder far more responsibility than anyone expected, and she delivered. She played all 44 regular season games, averaged 15 points on 53.8% shooting, grabbed 8.2 rebounds, dished 3.7 assists, added 1.2 steals, and earned her 3rd straight All-Star selection. She carried the team when it mattered most. And here's the key part. Aliyah could have been resentful. She could have felt overlooked while Caitlin landed massive off-court opportunities. She could have stayed quiet. Instead, she celebrated her teammates' success without hesitation. That's leadership. That's confidence. And that's real friendship. If you respect that kind of energy, tap the like button. It helps the channel more than you think.
And it's just so crazy that it feels like every other sport will just come out and say what it is besides the WNBA. The NBA is not scared to acknowledge that there's no more iconic figure in basketball. Not just the women's game, but possibly the game in general than Caitlin Clark. But we would not hear that in the WNBA space. We wouldn't hear that from WNBA media. But the NBA media and the NBA and the league itself is not scared to say it. Like we've seen it when Caitlin does golf events. It just seems like every league but her own is not scared to.
And when you compare Aliyah's reaction to how other WNBA veterans have responded to Caitlin's achievements, the difference is impossible to ignore. Most players stayed completely silent about the NBC deal. Some leaned into passive-aggressive comments about players getting opportunities they didn't earn. Others continued the pattern of minimizing anything Caitlin accomplishes. Aliyah Boston broke that pattern instantly. She wasn't threatened. She wasn't defensive. She was genuinely happy for her teammate. And that tells you everything about the mindset inside the Indiana Fever locker room. If this is what the Fever's core looks like moving forward, the rest of the league should probably be paying attention. Let us know what you think. And make sure you're subscribed to Court Queens, because we're not done talking about this.
What was it like for you this past season in certain situations and circumstances to be the one offering advice and offering comfort versus the one receiving it? Because, the previous year you were the rookie, right? How was that role different for you, and how comfortable were you taking that on?
I think, the only difference really is that I was doing it in the league this time. I feel like I've always been someone that kind of gives advice and kind of gives my 2 cents especially when it comes to basketball, just because obviously the way I see the game. And so for me this year, especially having Caitlin being a rookie, like I obviously just being a rookie the year before and knowing exactly what's going to come, whether it's the refs, whether it's social media. But I think also Caitlin handles that like a champ. Like she knows exactly what it's going to be, but she also knows that she has a big name, and Caitlin Clark is a huge name that people want to come on. They want to say what they think. They want to, what she should do, what this should happen. But I think when you look at it, Caitlin's just a competitor, right? And so for me, it made it easy because the advice I gave was just, okay, girl, I'll be my little short roll. If that's what you need, don't worry about the refs because they're not going to give you any calls because that's exactly what they do to rookies. And especially her being the player that she is, like they essentially want to see, oh, well, can you handle yourself on this league? But I think as the season went on, like you saw Caitlin, she handled that like a champ. And I think she handled it from the very first game. Is that her thing is she's here to compete. She's here to win. And it's as simple as.
And this isn't some one-off moment. This is who Aliyah Boston has been from the very beginning. All throughout Caitlin Clark's rookie season, when veterans around the league were fouling her excessively, complaining about the attention she brought to women's basketball, and openly questioning why she was getting opportunities they never did, Aliyah never joined in. She didn't participate in the jealousy. She didn't make comments about Caitlin stealing the spotlight. She didn't hint at resentment. She simply showed up, played basketball, built chemistry with her teammate, and helped make the Indiana Fever better. That professionalism didn't disappear when things got hard. It carried straight through the chaos of the 2025 season and is still showing up now. The relationship between Aliyah Boston and Caitlin Clark is exactly what a successful star partnership is supposed to look like. On the court, they complement each other perfectly. Caitlin's playmaking, shooting gravity, and offensive creativity paired with Aliyah's interior dominance, defensive versatility, and consistency. Off the court, they support each other without ego. Aliyah celebrating Caitlin's achievements. Caitlin publicly praising her teammates. Both fully committed to the Fever's success. And this is the part so many people miss. Aliyah clearly understands that Caitlin's success benefits everyone in the organization. When Caitlin lands a massive NBC deal, it raises the profile of the entire Indiana Fever. It keeps the team in national headlines during the offseason. It makes Indiana a more attractive destination for free agents. It increases the value of being associated with the franchise. Aliyah isn't viewing Caitlin's success as something that takes away from her. She sees it as something that creates more opportunities across the board. That mindset is the difference between winners and losers. Winners celebrate their teammates' success because they understand that rising tides lift all boats. Losers resent their teammates' success because they treat everything like zero-sum competition. Aliyah Boston is firmly in the winner category. She just had an all-star season while carrying an injury-depleted team, playing all 44 games, and handling a massive workload. And she's still genuinely excited about her teammates' off-season broadcasting deal. That's the mentality that builds championship cultures. And this dynamic matters even more when you look at the future. Right now, only 3 Fever players are under contract for 2026, Caitlin, Aliyah, and one other. Indiana is essentially rebuilding this roster around these 2 stars. Their chemistry, mutual respect, and support are going to define the franchise's trajectory. If they had the kind of toxic dynamic Caitlin has experienced with jealous veterans elsewhere, the Fever would be in serious trouble. Instead, they have 2 stars who genuinely want to see each other win, which is the foundation of something special. Caitlin's own response to the NBC opportunity reflects that same level of class. She said, "I'm really excited to be part of the Basketball Night in America crew this season. Carmelo, Vince, and Tracy are legends of the game, and Maria is a true professional. It will be really fun to join them a few times this season. No arrogance, no entitlement, just appreciation, humility, and a desire to learn." That's the same professionalism Aliyah has consistently shown in supporting her teammates' success. And remember, the 2025 season tested the fever in ways nobody anticipated. Losing your best player for half the season, multiple season-ending injuries, asking your second star to carry an enormous load night after night. Those conditions could have easily created resentment and division. Instead, Indiana came out of that adversity with its two stars still locked in and supportive of each other. That says everything about their character and about the culture this organization is building. Aliyah's reaction also quietly calls out the veterans who've spent the last 2 years trying to tear Caitlin down. By enthusiastically celebrating Caitlin's achievement, Aliyah is showing exactly how professionals are supposed to behave. She's proving you can be a star yourself while still supporting your teammates' success. She's showing that Caitlin's achievements don't threaten anyone, except people who are insecure about their own standing. The timing makes this even louder. While WNBA veterans are waving inflatable rats during CBA negotiations and making unrealistic salary demands, Caitlin is securing elite opportunities that elevate women's basketball. While union leadership chaos dominates headlines, Caitlin is building her brand alongside NBA legends, and Aliyah is publicly backing her. That contrast is embarrassing for the veterans, and Aliyah's support clearly sides with professionalism over pettiness. Fans noticed immediately. Social media reactions to Aliyah's post were overwhelmingly positive. People praised her for being a real teammate. Others contrasted her enthusiasm with the silence from veterans who should be celebrating a WNBA player landing one of the most prestigious roles in basketball media. Fans are clearly tired of jealousy-driven drama. They want to see genuine relationships and real leadership. And the fact that Aliyah reacted immediately matters. She didn't wait to see how the room would respond. She didn't calculate how supporting Caitlin might affect her standing with veteran players. She just celebrated her teammate, instinctively and authentically. That kind of reaction can't be faked, and fans recognize the difference between real support and PR-approved statements. This is exactly what the WNBA needs more of. Stars uplifting each other. Success being shared, not resented. If more players approach the league the way Aliyah does, understanding that one player's rise helps everyone, the culture would look very different. Instead, too many veterans resent the very player who brought unprecedented attention and revenue to their league. And Aliyah deserves more credit too. Averaging 15 points, 8.2 rebounds, and 3.7 assists while playing all 44 games in an injury-ravaged season kept Indiana competitive. She proved she's not just a complementary piece. She can lead when necessary. Making her third straight All-Star team under those circumstances shows consistency, reliability, and growth. That's all-star production paired with championship-level character. Caitlin may get more attention because her game is flashier, but Aliyah's impact is just as essential. NBC didn't choose Caitlin as a charity move. They chose her because her basketball IQ, understanding of the game, and star power bring real value. Aliyah recognizing that instead of questioning whether Caitlin deserves it, shows she understands how elite sports actually work. The pressure heading into 2026 is real. Caitlin needs to prove she can stay healthy and dominate across a full season. Aliyah needs to maintain her all-star level while leading a rebuilt roster. The franchise needs both firing at a high level to contend. Having a foundation of mutual respect makes handling that pressure possible. Aliyah's two-word Instagram response may seem small, but in the context of how Caitlin has been treated across the league, it's a powerful statement. It says, "I'm secure enough in myself to celebrate my teammate." It says, "Your success elevates us all." It says, "This is what professionalism looks like. Take notes." The Fever didn't just get lucky drafting two elite talents. They got lucky drafting two players with the maturity, character, and mindset to build something sustainable together. Two stars who support each other are infinitely more valuable than two stars who resent each other. And Aliyah Boston just gave us the clearest proof, yet that Indiana's foundation is rock solid. If you appreciate seeing professionalism beat jealousy in the WNBA, hit that like button, subscribe to Court Queens, and drop a comment on whether this duo can bring a championship to Indiana. Thanks for watching.